Welcome to Quick Tip with Joy. Today I want to talk about organization and containers. So I started out with just buying containers randomly. I highly suggest that you buy the same brand from the same place so that when you grow, you can they'll stack better, they fit better. Get a system. Don't go to like Dollar Tree and buy the cheap little, whatevers, and then you go to, then you think, oh, I need one this shape, and so I buy that one shape. It is easier if you can make the system work for you and think about the future instead of the now. Okay, so whatever system that is, if you are a clear versus a paper or, a closed up packaging, you may like it to be hidden away so it looks more uniform. You may want it out so you can just see what you're looking at. Think about how you like to look, how you like to work, and then create your craft space like that. I wanted to share for today how I work on a project. Oh, first of all, a couple things. So I buy this kind of container, and again, I've bought different color ones. They don't fit. Buy you at least 3 or 4 of the same kind so that they stack together nicely. But this is like my project box. So when I'm working on a digital kit, or when I'm working on, not necessarily a digital kit, if I'm working on a journal, everything that goes with the journal, I stick in this. And then as I'm cleaning off my desk for the day or trying to figure out what I'm doing, I just put it all in here and I set it aside. When I'm ready to work on it again, it comes back out. I like that system. Now, as I'm collecting for making a journal, I just use baggies. And I have like a big container, one of those foldable square cubes or whatever they're called. And I just put baggies in with everything as I'm collecting for it. If I find a button that matches, or, I want to put a feather in it or whatever, all that stuff goes in one baggie, and I get it together. And then when I'm ready to actually work on it, that's when I move it into a container like so. All right, next thing I want to talk about is keeping your scraps organized. I know that sounds dumb. I really do know that sounds dumb, but I have found it's very helpful. Let me show you kind of what I do. I have this well, first of all, let me show you the edge, how thick this one is. I really like this for the long thin strips of whatever. Now, I have sorted this, and I don't know why I'm just an organization freak, I guess. So if you think, oh gosh, I'm not doing that, if you just start, you'll save yourself so much time. In this, I've made little tabs with, this is little bits, and it's actually getting too full, so I need to kind of figure out and either make something with it or, move on. I have solids, so anything that is a solid scrap paper piece, cardstocky type stuff goes here. Anything that is patterns, whether it be music paper pieces, we pay so much for the stuff and then we get done with it and we just toss it, and it's like, that's ridiculous. So this is just little pattern pieces of different stuff. So I like that. And then we have coffee dye little strips in the back. This is the smaller stuff. Now I have a huge file that's bigger stuff. So that's the way I organize. I do the same thing, but I do it in file folders in a bigger container. So I've learned, I was actually gifted a little box that had just little 2x3 pieces of paper in it. I mean, it was just, just random pieces of paper. And I thought, gosh, that's a great idea. You always need a little something to back it. This has got, it's got regular like dictionary pages, wallpaper pages, just a little square. And I put it in this because I think this is cute. But that's it's great to have on your desk, handy for just a little piece of paper. Now, once they have gone past this stage, I kind of move them on to this stage. And you can see that I also throw I keep my fibers as well, because they're very handy when you're crafting. So these are the little pieces, you know, the mismatched, I don't know, they have no shape or form, but they're all similar. That's what I put in this pile. And this is vintage papers. You know, I've paid money for these. You know, sometimes I've paid like, you know, $70 for a book, and then, you know, it's dumb to just throw the pieces away when you might use them. So I just keep a little container over here of that. And then, as I had shared before in another video, I kind of went through my room quickly, but this is kind of a breakdown of different sections is what I'm doing. Pardon me. These are all embossed, so I kind of felt like I needed my embossed stuff in a different place. And these will get smashed down if you put them in a filing system. They just will flatten out, I have learned. So if I want them to be fluffy, you know, I just have them in a little bin here, and it's handy, and I stick it on top of the other one. Now, my vintage papers that I was telling you about, I have them sorted, kind of. This is the more thin ones that are like paper thin, and then I have ones that have like words or a stamp of some sort on them. Those go in this pile. And then these are all like purple writing, thin but purple writing. These are just all writing. And then I have blue ones, you know, the old style paper. And then these are all envelope backs, you know, the vintage envelope backs. Those are so nice, but you don't think about keeping that stuff. So those are my tips about, you know, in my big organization thing that I have sorted by coffee and tea dyed, and I have sorted by manila cardstock and white cardstock, and then scrapbook paper. I want to talk about that a little bit, and I didn't get it ready. Hold on, let me grab one. These are duplicates that I've purchased, but if you buy a paper pack pre-made, of course he doesn't sell this anymore, but I had to stock up, and I've already got it, so I decided that I was going to leave it together for this one. But if you go through paper packs, like this is people, I would put this with a people pile. And, you know, this is like script. I'd put it with a script pile. I go through every paper pad as I'm using it, and I tear them apart. And every paper pad kind of has some background pages, and then it has some pages that don't go with it. It might be a woodland thing, but then it has like a background page that's kind of cool. Well, you might want to use that somewhere else. I tear them all apart, sort them by blues and pinks and woodland, and, you know, that's how I do it. It's things for you to consider. I'm not saying you need to do this, but I'm trying to organize my area so it works for me a little bit quicker, a little bit better when I'm trying to pull something. And I got frustrated with digital kits. I mean, I love it because, you know, the theme all kind, you know, it kind of all goes together. But if you do need, you know, just a background page, a lot of times you can find them in a scrapbook paper thing. My leftover digital scraps was the last thing I wanted to talk about. If you have, think about, are you going to really make the digital kit another time? If you are, save those scraps, perhaps in a baggie, in the cube file. If you're not going to use them again, tear them apart and think about how you're going to use them. You know, if you have like a leftover envelope and it might have a flower and a bee on it, well, put it in an ephemera pile. You know, don't leave it with that digital pile because you may not ever get back to that digital pile. Anyway, that's some of the things that I wanted to share today. You can make something else with the leftover digitals too. Don't, you forget sometimes that, like, this is a square, oh, I have to use it as a square. No, you don't. Make it into a circle. Do whatever you want. Anyway, that is all for today. I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. You'll get the notifications. If you like it, share it. Give me a thumbs up. And until next time, remember, your day is full of choices, so choose joy. Have a wonderful day, guys.